Hello, this is Darrell Castle with today's Castle Report. This is Friday, the 5th day of July in the year of our Lord 2024. I will be talking today about the recent presidential debate and what it says about America today since this is Independence Day weekend. I will be mercifully brief. Yes, it's 4th of July weekend here in America. Most people have 4 days off from work, but this lonely podcaster sits here on the 16th floor of Memphis, Tennessee to bring you a few words from his heart. I suppose that everyone saw the debate between Joe Biden and Donald Trump a few nights ago. If you didn't see it, you undoubtedly know what happened anyway, but perhaps you're not as terrified as I am if you didn't see it. In one sense, it was a disaster of epic proportions. In another sense, it was just eye-opening and mind-boggling. It was a disaster in that the whole world could see that the person who is supposed to be running this country can't possibly be doing so. That is an important question for us to consider right now. The issue is not will Biden continue as the candidate or will he be replaced as the candidate, but the issue is who exactly is running this country. Do you know what terrifies me even more than wondering who is in charge? What if it's him? Because he can't possibly be in charge. He can't be president. When someone wakes him and says, Mr. President, we have detected a nuclear launch from Russia, China, North Korea, wherever, what does he do? He would have literally only minutes to execute launch on warning, thus putting us into global nuclear war. That would be scary for anyone. But right now, it's terrifying. It seems to me that the nation is in extreme peril. Without leadership that is cognizant of what is happening in this world, there are other issues that one wonders about, but the finger on the nuclear button is, of course, what he is responsible for. Who signed all those executive orders and policy directives? I know it was the president, but was his mind so diminished he didn't know what he was doing? Who decided to permit and even invite mass illegal immigration without any vetting so that the crime rate is falling in Venezuela and El Salvador but soaring here in America? Those countries empty their prisons onto our borders. Who decided to foment climate change policies so austere that our economy would be slowed, perhaps permanently? Who decided to fuel a proxy war in Ukraine that threatens to draw us into a catastrophic war with nuclear-armed Russia? Who decided to give unqualified support to Israel, no matter how disproportionate their response to the terrorist attacks of October 7th? Was the president behind even any of those decisions? And if so, how would we know? His mental state was laid bare for the whole world to see the other night. His responses incoherent, confused, lost, without the ability to complete even the most basic thoughts. This is a period of national shame, and the country is left without any confidence as to in whose hands our future lies, at least humanly speaking. It is so funny. It's hard not to laugh at the president's responses, but when one realizes the magnitude of what is at stake, it becomes sobering indeed. Do you think Mr. Z, Mr. Putin, the little rocket man, even the mullahs were watching that debate? You know they were. And I would guess they're wondering the same thing I am, that is, whose finger is on the nuclear button, the deep state of unelected bureaucrats, which the Supreme Court has been trying to chop at the branches of, but not the roots, must be in charge. The deep state must be in charge. It is obvious now for the whole world to see, especially Democrats, most importantly Democrat media, that we have been walking in uncharted ground since the 2020 election. Joe Biden was not in 2020 and is currently not fit or able to discharge the duties of the world's most important job. His enablers, his handlers, from his own family to the Democrat power brokers, continue to exploit him and the country for their own personal benefit. Right now, we are indeed walking on uncharted ground, but I think Army Colonel Douglas McGregor said it best, quote, "It is time to ask who truly governs this country. Is it we the people as our founders intended, or have we surrendered control to unelected bureaucrats, sprawling federal agencies, affluent donors who do not have the best interest of ordinary Americans at heart? To say it is a national shame is an understatement. This travesty should end immediately. It is now obvious that the governing power to determine our nation's destiny lies in unelected hands, end quote. Yes, the Colonel's analysis is spot on. This nation that we are constantly told must protect, quote, our democracy is neither a democracy nor a republic. When we point out that constitutionally this nation is a republic, not a democracy, we're called fascist. The truth is now out, can't reasonably be denied. That is, that people who have not been elected are exercising power of an immense nature and are doing a very poor job of it. These elected people, unelected people that is, whoever they are, have something other than the best interest of American people in mind, or else they must all be complete idiots. The real reason, the real question that needs to be addressed is not who will replace him. Who will replace Joe Biden? Because at this point, it's impossible to have any confidence in any Democrat politician. The real question that the news media should be asking, but isn't asking, is how long have you known? Why didn't you tell us? That question is being avoided instead of asked, so it's obvious that the captive media is in league with the devil, serving as his assistant instead of reporting his actions. Did he suddenly lose his mind in only 90 minutes? Or have you known all along and kept it secret from us? People knew before his campaign when he ran from his basement. Government and media have been perpetuating a hoax on us. That hoax is that for this entire administration's time in office, someone other than the president has been running the country, someone not answerable to voters. Who are these people who live in shadows, answerable to no one? The media cover up for them, but they don't ask who they are. Finally, folks, the system is supposed to work in reverse of how it is currently working. The media is there to protect the governed from the government, but instead it protects the government from the governed. This has to change if we are to live without fear of an out-of-control government or no government at all. If we continue to reward these people by re-electing them time after time, I guess we deserve what we get. At least that's the way I see it. Until next time, folks, this is Darrell Castle. Thanks for listening.